Expect the unexpected. She's a sweet widow from Nebraska. He's an old metalhead with metal in his head and covered in tattoos. Now that's a twist. All right, what's up, everybody? We are here for week 3.
All right, it's going fast. It's hard to believe it's week 3 already.
I know, week 3 already. And remember, people, we do tell spoilers because we watch the feeds and everything. So we just talk about what we see and how we feel. So we do have spoilers.
That's right.
Well, I guess we'll have to start at the beginning, which is the shock and awe. I cannot believe Swaggy actually was evicted. I never thought it would happen. Not in a million years. I never thought that would happen.
No.
I thought he was.
Me either. I was so shocked about that. I was sure the producers were going to keep him around.
Yeah, he was way too good TV to go. But I will say one thing. With him gone, the gameplay kind of switched, and I will say that Bailey, who I thought was equally as annoying as he was, isn't so annoying anymore, and she's actually starting to play the game. So I think it was a really good thing for her.
Now, I know, I'm kind of a thinker as far as psychological thinker, but I think it's so fascinating. Just that whole human nature part of this is, it's like one of those mobiles that you hang from the ceiling.
Yes.
I mean, one person out like Swaggy and the whole dynamics of that house flipped upside down.
It did. It's not the same at all.
And that's what I love about Big Brother. That's what I love, is because it really does just always change on a dime.
Yeah. And we're even starting to see the mysterious woman, Angela, is actually popping up now and again, and we are actually seeing who she is now.
Yes. And Casey, isn't she it? She's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Her personality is really shining now, too.
And she's really competitive, too. Even when they go up there and they play foosball and stuff, she's a competitive little girl, and I wouldn't count her out just yet. That's
she's
for sure.
Badass.
All right, so let's see what's been going on since Swaggy left. Yeah, again, Bailey is playing. She is playing the game. She kind of got with Fessy because Fessy and Swaggy were really tight. He was pretty devastated that Swaggy went, and, well, everybody was shocked because they didn't believe it, just like me. But Bailey and Fessy kind of got together, and they're working together and trying to keep the crew together. I guess that's Rockstar, and I guess they're trying to keep a hold of Crazy Caitlin. And I think Haley's in on that bunch too, isn't she?
Yeah. Yes.
And then, of course, Scotty. They believe they have Scotty, who is the current HOH.
I'm kind of liking Scotty more and more.
Scotty is, I don't know. He's an odd one now to me. He seems like he got a little bit, first spoiler is Scotty has actually he's HOH and he won the POV. So he's kind of running around like a little bit drunk with power. Mm-hmm. And he said that when he was making his noms, when he was getting ready to pick his noms, he wanted to call everybody up and ask them questions. Who does everybody think is the biggest threat? And no matter what they say, he's going to tell everybody that everybody said Winston and Brett. Yeah. And that's why they're on the block.
Which part of it is true. The house really wants them out of there.
Yeah, they do. But then you have that added thing that everybody thought that when Swaggy left, when he was evicted, Haley, she went up to hug him and say goodbye, and he kind of pushed her away and left because he thought that she voted to get him out. When in fact, it was Mr. Scotty who wore the Swaggy shirt and the headband and went in there and voted Swaggy out. And everybody thought it was Haley and not Scotty. And that was Scotty's plan, but everybody figured it out and they're like, so Scotty's the one who flipped. Now he's HOH. And Caitlin last week was the one who flipped the votes and flipped the House and then won HOH. So isn't it kind of odd?
Yeah, and I think that's going to bite Scotty in the butt, because down the road, if he does last into the last, 8 or few people, that just proves that he cannot be trusted. His word he, not even slightly.
Yeah. And it's funny because, well, one, Caitlin, who flipped her vote and then did all this, is saying, well, yeah, I did it too, but he's doing it now. So it's like, yeah, I did it, but now he's doing it. And the same thing with Scotty. He's in there saying, well, Winston lied to me because he said that he wanted to know. He's still trying to figure out who voted Steve out.
Right.
How Steve got voted out. And he asked Winston, and Winston said, no, I voted to keep Steve. Then went down and was talking to Sam, and Sam was like, well, I was just up there and told him that you told me that you voted to keep me.
That was hilarious.
Like, oh, you're dumb. Well, first of all, there, Winston, old buddy, if you're going to lie and you want other people to be in on your lie, don't you think you have to tell them to lie? Not just assume they're going to. You got to fill everybody in on the plan, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Winston and Brett drive me crazy. That whole brother thing is it's just obnoxious. It's just as obnoxious as a showmance where they hang all over each other.
Exactly. The showmances, and then we have the bromance. And in all honesty, in my opinion, Scotty's doing the right thing, because when you got those showmances or those bromances, you got to break that stuff up. You got to do it.
That's what I'd do. I'd go right after that.
Well, I will say this is one season so far that is odd to me, because for season after season after season, I always say, oh, I'm so tired of everybody letting all the big power players just stay in and voting out all the nobodies and the floaters. This season, they're saying, hey, you're going to win, you're out. You're going to win, you're out. You two together are strong. We got to split you up. They're actually playing the game.
Yeah, they are. They are. I was watching Jessica from last year. Jessica, yes. They have a YouTube channel, and she was on last night, and she said she was really interested in what she said these people are real idiots. You would think that they would watch the show before they get on it. And she said most of them have never watched the show. And she said, and very few of them have ever watched any of the live feeds. And she said, if you're ever going to get on that show, you have got to watch the live feeds, because she said what happens off camera is way more information.
Yeah.
And, she likened it to, you have 60 any hours in a week, but only 3 hours a week is what you see on network television.
The show, yeah.
And, yeah. Well, and did you ever notice that when you watch the feeds, you kind of get a picture of who these people really are, but then you watch the show and you go, that's not how not how I see it.
Well, I will say that Scotty did, HOH, he did put up Brett and Winston, which no big surprise. He does have the veto, and I don't think he's going to use it. I think he's going to just keep it the same and let the chips fall where they may. He doesn't really care which one of them goes, as long as one of them goes, because that'll break up their little bromance, and that's all he's looking to do. He can let the house do whatever. So, but the big thing is Sam and her magical power, her little app that she has.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be an interesting little twist.
Because this week, if she doesn't use it, next week, whoever gets voted out next week, they automatically get that chance to come back, because this is her last week to use it. If she doesn't use it this week, then next week, it automatically gets used. So she was running around the house trying to figure out what she should do. if she should use it or if she should just wait and let it go to whoever next week. So I'm anxious to see that maybe if they vote Brett out, she might just use it and give him a chance to come back. And then Bailey is the one who got most trending, which I don't know how. I really don't know. She hasn't done anything. I don't know, because, your swaggy left and we'll give you most, but I don't see why. Anyway, she's got it this time. And hers is she can basically take over the HOH and put up whoever she wants. Poor Haley, she's the one that got the crap app.
Oh.
And I don't know why, but anyway, she's the one that got it. Again, I don't know why that Angela chick didn't, because she was non-existent until just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But Haley has to read Shakespeare.
I love that one. That's hilarious.
She has to get up on her soapbox. Well, when they say read, she has to go in, get in her outfit, her little costume, come climb up on the soapbox and start reading until they say don't read, and then she can stop. But what they've been doing is they've been telling her, read. So she gets up there and she starts reading, and then they'll say, stop reading. And it's pretty much 5 minutes later, she'll take the costume off and everything and just walk back out, and they'll say, read. So she has to turn around and go right back in.
That's so funny.
And so funny. This isn't over until the entire book of, what is it, Hamlet, is read.
And it's huge. Hamlet is huge.
I think it's hilarious. And that was the last crap app. All the apps are done. All the apps are done. No more of that. This was it. So Bailey got the last good one, and Bailey and Haley.
Oh, that's so confusing.
Bailey got the last good one, and Haley got the last crap app. So that stuff is over and done with. So since everything's been going on, like I said, Sam, I don't know. She's been playing really hard. She has been talking to Brett a lot, trying to team up with him. She got permission from Scotty to get into the HOH room, and she had little meetings with everybody. And she was just laying down the law with Brett. And I
like her a lot.
She's starting to play. She's trying to play a little bit too hard, I think, at the moment. Yeah. She's getting a little aggressive with certain people, but we'll see how that all turns out for her.
Well, you know what I think is interesting is, well, Caitlin, right?
Yes.
She should have a show on her own, but how she's chasing Tyler around all over, and he's trying to string her along without stringing her along.
Well, let's talk about Crazy Caitlin, as I like to call her. She went around and she just can't keep her mouth shut. She blocked everything. She went and she told Haley that Sam got the app the first week, and she told everybody, and she's just running around telling everybody everything. I flipped the vote. I did this. Tyler's the one who made me flip the vote. And this was she's just spilling everybody's beans and blowing everybody's game up, just running around the house. And then she's sitting down, and she's got since her and Fessy kind of had their little thing,
right?
And Haley was being chased by Fessy, and Haley was kind of like blowing him off a little bit.
Yeah,
that made Caitlin jealous. So Caitlin runs over to Tyler, and they're in bed, and she's drawing with her finger on his arm. I want to kiss you. And all that mess. And he's like, yo, yo, yo. But he needs her for games. So he's kind of like playing along, but keeping her at an arm's length. And then rumor has it that Caitlin has a boyfriend. Well, had a boyfriend because he wants her.
That's sad. I'm embarrassed for her. I'm embarrassed for her when she gets out of that house and sees what a fool she's made of herself.
Yeah.
And like Raven last year.
Yeah.
Raven, she had no idea about how she was destroying her image.
Oh my goodness, all the stories that poor girl told. Oh. But then Caitlin, during Sam's little meetings up in the HOH room, well, she was with Brett for a while, and she was telling him, if Winston goes, you and me need to team up, and we need to to stay close, and you need to let me know everything that's going on. If anything changes, you have to let me know. And then Rockstar and Haley came up, and they were talking about things, and Rockstar and them, they were going through the thing about the votes. Okay, we Swaggy, we knew that we had this many votes, but we only had that many, and somebody flipped. And then they started talking about Scotty and he had his nerve wearing the shirt and the bandana and went in there and flipped.
Oh boy.
And then Fessy and Crazy Caitlin came in, and Caitlin was running around talking all kind of madness, but then she went over, pulled Fessy's hand out of the way, and moved his legs apart, and she just climbed in there and sat on his lap.
Oh boy.
So she's all over the place, man. That girl is.
She is. She is. She really, it's sad because she just craves attention.
Yeah.
And she'll do anything to get it from anybody.
Anybody and everybody. And she, like my grandmother used to always say, her mouth runs like a duck's ass. She never shuts up. She's always blabbing.
I love that.
Just tells everybody's business. Yeah, but I thought a lot more was going to be happening this week after Swaggy went, but it wasn't as exciting as I thought, actually.
No, it wasn't at all like I expected. Not at all. But it did create, Rachel surfaced a little bit, and Casey, now we're getting to know her a little bit better. So it really did kind of put the spotlight on some other people that were under the radar.
Yeah, it did change things in certain ways. But yeah, like I said, now we see Bailey actually playing and not worrying about her love interest.
Yeah.
We've seen this mystery Angela. She surfaced. And yeah, Casey, she's pretty competitive. Like I said, they play foosball and other things, and she's pretty competitive even at that. So I want to keep my eye on her, and hopefully she can do something. Little JC, he's kind of faded into the woodwork now.
Yeah.
I've seen him too much. Live streams, live feeds, he's just kind of like hanging out, and they make fun of the way he talks and stuff right now. But he's a jokester, they joke he jokes with Fessy and them. They always pick on each other, which is pretty funny. But as far as playing the game, he's just kind of skating and really not doing a whole lot of anything.
He is. He's not as entertaining this week as I thought he was going to be.
No. And then you mentioned Rachel. She was hanging out with the other Angela. Because Angie is Rockstar, that's why she's Rockstar. So they don't have Angie and Angie. But yeah, Rockstar is herself. She's just been running around being Rockstar, trying to figure out. Well, they figured it out, but her whole quest was to find out where the votes went and why Swaggy went and who did it. And once they all figured out that Scotty was the culprit, I don't know, it got tough.
Yeah, she's a good little investigator.
Yeah.
She did her work.
Well, I guess Scotty, I don't know what I really don't know where this is all going because, he flipped on his own side, his own team, and got one of his own out, which was for the betterment of everybody, in my opinion. But so now he almost had to put up two people from the other side. So that's why Brett and Winston are on the block, the bromance. Which is a good move, too, but I don't know what's going to happen after this. Is his side going to say, well, we know you're the one that put the Swaggy shirt on and the bandana and went in there and flipped. Yeah. So are they going to keep him in the fold, or are they going to kick him to the curb the first chance they get? Or that's what I want to see what happens next.
Well, it might be a good move to kick him out because he is he's a pretty big player. He's pretty smart in some ways, but socially just an idiot.
Yeah. Sam is, I know she's running around. She's doing all kinds of stuff to make herself relevant or needed. She cooks a lot. She's always cleaning. She just went around, her and the mystery woman, Angela, they went around and they were stripping beds and taking all the pillowcases off all the pillows and doing all the laundry, and they were going to go make the beds later. And I'm like, man, Sam's the only one that's been kicking up some dirt, trying to gather her little. She always says, no matter what happened today, I go to bed, I wipe everything clean, and I wake up the next day and it's fresh. So if you did something to me yesterday, it doesn't matter because when I get up in the morning, it's a fresh day. And whatever happens that day, I deal with it. And then before I go to bed, I forgive everybody and I wipe it all clean and I start a new day the next day, is what she says. That's how she's playing her game. So you can wrong her today and she'll deal with it. And then tomorrow, all is forgiven and it's a clean slate with everybody, which in the Big Brother house, that's not a good way to play.
No, it might be in real life, but
And she told Rockstar and Haley that what she wants to do is she wants to get like 7 or 8 people, maybe 6 or 7, 7, 6, 7, 8 people, she says, including herself, that are what she thinks is good people, to all work together at a common goal and then get everybody else out. And she said, and if I win, that's fine. But if any of the other people that I think are good people, if they win, that's great too, because I think they're going to do good and all this other stuff. So she's trying to circle her wagons. She's trying to make her own little team. And I don't know how well that's going to go, because since the house is split in those two sides, and her and JC are kind of like in the middle. They're really not aligned with either side. So I think she's trying to pick and choose from both sides and trying to make her own little core group. I don't think that's going to work. I think it's going to blow up.
I don't either. I agree completely. And eventually, I mean, she's not thinking it through to the end, because eventually they're all going to have to turn on each other at some point.
Right now, there's only a few people to really watch. Mm-hmm. The other ones are starting to move around and, jostle around and makes a little bit of noise, but not much.
Not much.
Like I said, JC's running around doing nothing. Casey, she's kind of trying to work her way up. Yeah. But you got Rachel, who's really not doing anything. The other Angela, she's not doing nothing.
I don't even know who she is. I mean, I know who she is.
Yeah.
I have no idea what her personality and her character is like.
No.
Not at all.
Haley, she's just kind of in the middle because Crazy Caitlin is her buddy and she tells her everything. But she's not doing anything either. Haley's just kind of there. Mm-hmm. And then, Bailey, she's finally starting to play. Fessy, he's always been kind of there in the spotlight just because he's the big dude and he's like,
Fessy's like the little orphan in the house.
Yeah. He tries too hard with all the ladies. Tyler was even kind of bland this week. He really didn't, for the guy who came in and right off the bat, man, got HOH and this and that and tore up the house and spun everything around and was manipulating everybody. He's just this week was just kind of there. I
don't know. Maybe he came to terms with the fact that he was overplaying.
Yeah, maybe.
That's all I can figure out.
Yeah, because thanks to Caitlin, like I said, she was running around telling everybody everything. Sam got the thing the first week and she's got the power, and Tyler did this and I wanted to do this, but he told me to do this, and she's just telling everybody's little secrets. So, well, I'm looking forward to see what actually happens, see if Scotty uses the veto or not. I don't think he's going to.
I don't either.
And I think he's going to let the chips fall where they may. As long as one of the two of the bromance gets out, I think he'll be happy. And they'll move on from there. But other than that, it's not been a very eventful week. Hopefully, next week will be better.
Yes, indeed. I hope so. I just think this is kind of a setup week. It's kind of one of those weeks where they're setting everything up to go into motion, because I bet it gets crazy next week.
Yeah, I think it's going to. I think the whole shock of the Swaggy leaving, and it shocked me too because I never thought it was going to happen. But I think that was the big shock, and everybody's kind of regrouping after that. And we still got all the good competitions that come up that haven't been there. We still got the OTEV stuff and the hang on the wall deal and all that stuff. Yeah. I haven't had any real physical ones yet, so I'm hoping that comes soon. That's pretty much it for this one. Again, it wasn't that exciting. Not as exciting as we thought it was going to be, but it's all in Scotty's hands, who got a little bit power hungry this week. with the HOH and the POV, but he's breaking up the bromance one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's Big Brother for you.
That's right. So today is the POV ceremony, so we will know later today if Scotty actually uses it or not. But for now, it's all up in the air. Come back and see what we think about next week's. But for now, this is Blind Views and
Totally Kathy.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
What we do here is go back.